Friends, I managed to get my hands on some FARA HOMIDI, the Essential Bronzer Compact and the Smudge and Contour Lip Pencil. One of you had mentioned under my June favorites, maybe it was, I forgot what video, my gosh, my memory, had said that this bronzer will be the last bronzer I ever purchase because it is exceptionally formulated, and I have not heard of FARA, and I read that she is a New York City based makeup artist actually, and we'll have to do further research on her work for sure, but I just wanted to jump on for an impromptu first impressions. As you see, it's still in the box. We're gonna see this color together, and it's expensive. I could have bought it online, either on FARA's website, or it is sold also on Goop, but we do have a Goop location here in NYC, and I just trotted over, and they were nice enough to apply my first customer 15% off. Thank goodness. This bronzer, are you guys ready? Retails for $78. And I think the Hermes kind of sits around there actually, so it should be to no surprise to my wallet that I would choose to splurge on such a product. But if you purchase the entire compact, it is $78. My apologies. I believe the refill is $42. So you could do what I do, where for instance, I just bought the Prada refill glass bottle, which is less expensive than purchasing glass bottle and plastic insert, but the refills only come in the cardboard box, so you have to make sure you keep it in there, in and out if you use it. I wanted to buy the entire compact because it looked absolutely gorgeous, and the lip contour pencil retails for $36, so quite expensive for a lip pencil. I also was looking at her complexion product, specifically the face compact, $88, and the compact was heavy, which I maybe suspect the bronzer compact to be as well. I was not impressed by the texture or the scent. It just didn't give me exceptional for $88 right then and there when I kind of just dabbed it on my skin. I prefer my Prada foundation, my Danessa Myricks blurring balm, even the new Exa Beauty high fidelity foundation that I'm currently sampling. Again, wasn't that impressed on the spot and just left it there. It's not a limited edition product. It's a part of her permanent line. So if I change my mind down the road, sure. But I was mostly intrigued by this bronzer, okay, because it is made in Italy. It has an 18-month suggested shelf life. Not bad for being a clean beauty product. But this is what got me. The Lumi Matte Soft Suede. That texture description, sign me up, because we've heard of demi matte, soft matte, all these hybrid finishes that are now emerging in the bronzer space. Not only the bronzer space, but just the cheek category in general have just intrigued me. And to read further about this product, an ultra smooth bronzing powder with a cream like feel, Lumi Matte Soft Suede is a first of its kind lightweight and lustrous bronze with a soft matte finish that melts seamlessly into the complexion. FARA's Lumi Matte technology delivers a unique velvety touch and high creaminess, formulated to be used over any makeup or skin care base. Listen, we're getting into the box, family. Will this be the last bronzer I ever purchase? I guess we'll never know. Maybe in a while, but my goodness. And if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Alicia. I'm a sucker for bronzers. Anytime I encounter a new bronzer, and this is a heavy compact, it's virtually a paperweight. It kind of weighs similarly to the Victoria Bronzer Brick Compact, Magnetic Compact, which is wonderful. Oh my goodness. And here you have the dip to refill your bronzer if you or I choose to purchase another shade. I decided to go with Roma. Roma is the third shade out of the three, so not the most extensive bronzer selection we've seen, but let me pull over the description. A tawny tan with warm undertones. I could get down with tawny. I love terracotta, but tawny, rusty, and on the model here, just looked like it had a red rust to the undertone, which I think beautiful. And the last time I tried, I attribute tawny also to Natasha Denona's bronzer back in her 4-pan palette, her bronze tan and glow palette. Remember that one? That was such a beautiful color as well. This appears to have a little more red, but I also heard through the grapevine that Bois, the beige tan with cool pink undertones, is heavily sought after for lighter complected individuals who have a hard time finding a bronzer shade that does not make them look orange. And the deepest color here, Ombre, mahogany tan with deep warm undertones. So again, I don't think everybody's gonna find their bronzer pick from this selection, but me being on the medium part of the spectrum, and yes, not necessarily having to go tawny, I could go neutral, I can go a little yellow like was found in the Victoria bronzer. Maybe in between I have the YSL on standby for comparison, but just look at this texture. Okay, this is unlike anything. Oh my goodness, I'm not ready to swatch this. Are we ready to swatch? Oh, that is velvety. Holy moly, look at that color. That's a nice color. I gotta dip into YSL now. We have number 4. This appears to be interesting to have a little more yellow in there. Oh, that appears to be a little more, dare I say, caramel-ish in the undertone. I also have Pat McGrath Labs Bronze Divinity, which is the terracotta. I thought this would be a little more, kind of maybe, a lot more red-ish. Interesting. And lastly, we have to dip into Victoria's bronzer brick in the shade 03. I believe this is, well, one side is sand and the other is soul. It's like a contour kind of bronzer duo, if you will. Oh, let me not use that finger because the nail polish is peeling. This is a unique color on my skin tone as well. I would classify that as like a peachy bronze, but ooh, the FARA color is pretty. Right now I have a mixture of the Prada Beauty foundation with the Exa Beauty, dapped on a little bit of the Gucci concealer, also mixed in with the Exa on my blemishes and just the Gucci under my eyes. But ooh, you gotta come in a little closer for this demo. What brush should I use? It appears to be quite a soft texture despite it being a hybrid product. So I think going in, for instance, like Wayne's blush brush in number 1, the F1. Let's see how much, oh, that's soft. That's soft. I'm gonna pounce away just a little bit. I'm using my phone as a mirror. What is happening? Oh, my apologies. Before I know, this is like living on the edge here. Hermes's CN. Quickly here, if you want to take a screenshot of all the comparisons, FARA, YSL, Pat McGrath, BBB, and lastly, Hermès. Okay. I'm not ready. Here we go. Is there a scent? I don't smell a scent. Oh, that's a lot of bronzer. That's a lot of bronzer. Okay, let me, I'll pick up a little less, but my goodness, the texture is velvety smooth. Velvety smooth. The color also is unique on me, for sure. It's not neutral. It is a true tawny color. And I think it has a nice sculpting effect as well, dare I say. I'm just taking off a little bit from this side because I underestimated how soft this kind of creamy, velvety, Louis matte, soft suede texture is. So be careful if you are my skin tone and have or were thinking about picking up Roma. And I'm pulling some down closer around my face. Now, I wouldn't want this shade on the center of my face. I don't think it will perform like my Hermès because the Hermès has a little bit of red in there and can kind of double as a blush. You know what I'm saying? I could go in with my Soshe Beauty blush. That would be pretty. But I also want to take this thumbnail so I don't catfish you in thinking that is an entirely different color. But let's go in with the lip pencil, because this I thought was a lovely shade when I tested it in store. Minky. Minky is described to be, let's pull it up, shall we? A warm light brown beige with a neutral undertone. And the photos kind of threw me off because the photos look quite red, but when I swatched it in store, I was like, oh, that's pretty. It's virtually my lip color, but a little more sculpted. Here's the pencil. We got a light blue color going on. Here's the pencil tip. And again, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Let me get Gesha. Hold on. It definitely reminded me of Gesha. Gesha might have a little bit more brown, whereas Minky is almost like a true rose brown. And I'm just gonna fill it up. Let's fill it up. I like the texture of the pencil. It's creamy, but it's not too creamy, so nice grip to the lip. The color though is sensational. I think it's fantastic. It's like, but this bronzer, hang tight, let me take this thumbnail. As promised, we'll pair it with the Soshe Beauty Blurring, I keep forgetting, the Blurring Pillow Blush in Copper Spice, which I have been gushing over the last few days. Oh, that's a nice combination, because I was afraid the pairing would appear muddy at the juncture, but it appears that the bronzer's tawniness does not negatively impact the look of the terracotta shade from Soshe. But I would be careful, because this could look a little dirty on me if I apply too much. So I might have to choose a brush that's not as dense as the Wayne Goss. I'm thinking of squirrel goat hybrid, because the goat hair will move the product well, but the squirrel won't pick up as much if an exclusively all bristled goat hair brush, and I think we'll leave behind just a softer diffused look on the cheeks. But if you're my skin tone, I would go with Roma. I wouldn't go with the third color, because a bronzer that's $78, I definitely want that color impact for sure. And I understand that I just explained how I have to be careful with its intensity and how I apply it going forward, but I think it's beautiful. The more standout feature of the bronzer most definitely has to be the texture. This is unlike anything I felt, well, I'm trying to think. Is creamier feeling than the Victoria Beckham Beauty. The Victoria Beckham Beauty has more of a powder feel, but you can see that sheen from FARA's bronzer, right? That's naturally left behind. And I think that's something to consider also, where you have to rely on the product's kind of maneuverability and not have to apply so much, because it will move well on the skin and leave behind a nice bronzy look to the cheeks to not pick up so much product, especially if you're going to lean more towards a color like I did that delivers like, whoa. But I wanted to try the tawny. It intrigued me. Tawny's pretty. Let's back it up. Let's back it up and see what we have from a back view. I applied so much freaking bronzer on this side. Even though I tapped it off, my goodness, it's still laid on. A little too much product for my liking, but I do like the color. I think it's lovely. The texture, again, I can understand why people would seek out this bronzer, not only for it, especially if the line has a color that they think will work well on them, but the texture. It is a hybrid-like type of a formula. It has like that slippiness to it, but again, beautiful color delivery, as you see on me anyway. Medium tan, barely. Roma is a third shade. I would go with Roma, again, because of this color, and combining it with a terracotta tone blush, as I just demonstrated, works well. It doesn't look too muddy. It doesn't look disjointed, where it's like, what, you got two different products on your face, what's happening? It does create a smooth gradient, especially if you blend it well, making sure you veil the blush over the bronzer successfully, right? So it doesn't look kind of uneven and spotty. I'm happy I have this, because I know you can't collect makeup, you can't collect something that degrades over time, but I do like now to have this in my collection because I think this is a unique formula and therefore a unique experience to the user, where again, this texture is just, I don't have, if I remember, and you could hold me accountable, family, if I remember something in my bronzer collection that mimics the FARA bronzer, I will comment down below and pin it and we could discuss. But I would say, however, this is like a texture Prada would do. If Prada would ever release a bronzer or blush product, I feel like they will be in this realm 100%. This, you know, Lumi Matte, they'll probably call it something else because of trademarking and whatever, but this is right up their alley in terms of texture, just it being ultra soft and silky, but not a powder, not matte, but has a little bit of a luminous sheen, but it's not radiant. Does that make any sense? It's not pearly. It doesn't have any pearl in there, just the texture itself and how it's milled, how it's developed and crafted naturally leaves behind that luminosity. That's just lovely. And I think friendly across multiple skin types. The oily types will appreciate that it's not super radiant and pearly. It won't accentuate pores, but drier skin types would appreciate a little bit of that luminosity in the texture, I think. You can sound off below. If you have FAVS bronzer, let us know how that's been working out. But this lip pencil, I love the color. The fact that I just used this pencil to fill up my lip, defined it, brought the lip color forward, but it doesn't look too pink. It's, this is pretty. I'm happy I went with Minky. I was looking at Rephr, that was like a warm, darker brown, but I wanted to wear a pencil, something like what Minky is giving, like a true lip contour for my lip color, and that's exactly what it delivered. Maybe down the road I'll get Rephr, who knows. I want to apply one more thing. Hold on. VVB's Posh Bomb in Canelle. Ooh. Canelle definitely brought more of that tan, but having Minky underneath, that's pretty. All right, impromptu first impressions complete. I cannot wait to continue using this bronzer throughout July and continue to make other discoveries, of course, as they emerge in cocktailing other products, finding out what other texture that mimics this bronzer. My goodness, I'm still floored by it. The color is lovely. I do like the color. However, I would tread carefully in ensuring you use the proper tool that will deliver the right level of color and also will blend the product well. I think it would be forgiving with several brush types because, as you saw, it is beautifully silky on the blend. But I wouldn't pick a dense brush because you saw how soft the powdered hybrid is. You might pick up too much and will have to blend it down, which is tougher to do than adding more if you wanted to level up that color intensity. So let me know down below what you think about this demonstration and if you tried FAVS bronzer. And if you made it this far, make sure you like this video, click that thumbs up. It helps me tremendously in letting YouTube know that you like to watch my videos, and it will also recommend more of my videos to beauty enthusiasts such as yourself. And make sure you subscribe because more bronzer videos are coming, whether they be comparison videos, get ready with me's, or top 10 this, top 5 that. You'll know when those uploads drop, especially if you click that notification bell. And if you want to check out my recent June favorites where I gush over the Soshe blush among other products, you can click that video here. I'll see you there, down in the comments for this video, and on here again next time.